What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, the opening continues. It's like, how long is it? Has it been like 5 days? I don't even remember. Oh, it's Friday, right? Yeah, so Friday. It's Tuesday. So, it's been some days, the weekend. And, yeah, I mean, Alex is doing stuff. Dizzle. Sean came out of retirement, started doing videos again. Dirt, Dirt was Duck Dizzle too, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's out here. Okay, Mega, all of them. All of them. Everybody's out here smacking these ponies up and down through the internet. Now, I think Crap Gamer is trying to warn the ponies, don't fall into the trap and all that stuff. I don't know. Like I said, it's a second-hand, third-hand resources or whatever. Third-hand sources of me hearing it from somebody, which, doesn't matter really. Because he lost all credibility when he threw a tissy fit back in 2017, whatever, when he got butthurt by Phil. When Phil did the first SmackDown on these ponies, he was the first pony to get smacked. It's funny because I believe he came up with the term Sony pony. I believe he did. And so it's funny that he is an actual pony. And he got smacked down by the great Phil Maximus Aurelius Symbadilius, first of his name, last of his kind, Spencer. It's I don't know. Is it serendipity? I don't even know. I don't know. It's just happenstance or whatever it is. But it's hilarious. And so him and Mooch, they got nothing to say. What they gonna say? What possibly could they say at all that means any relevance of anything? And nothing. They can't say anything to have a point. They can't say anything to prove a point. They have no more points. They can't say anything to justify what Sony's doing, because what they were saying before was, attack Xbox for exactly the same thing that Sony's doing. So if they were true gamers and true people and truthfully true, they would do the same. They would give Sony and PlayStation the same treatment that they gave Xbox and Microsoft. But they're not gonna, because they're donkey unicorns and their ponies. And that is where we stand right now. If you see anybody capping for Sony right now, capping for PlayStation, this is because they're donkey unicorns and they are ponies, period. They're not real gamers. They play Twitter. They don't play games. Me, you guys know who I am. Sega's first. Sega made me this way. So, it's not like I grew up in, Sony Sony didn't exist when I started playing video games. Sony was a Walkman company. They had you put the tape in and you click and you listen to your tapes. That's what Sony was. And they made really bad car stereos, because I had one. My first car stereo was a Sony. And it was trash. Of course, my speakers were trash too, but whatever. I'm just saying, it wasn't good. And so ever since then, I knew Sony wasn't a good. Ever since that first trash car radio I had. Actually, I have an old Sony Walkman, but I think the bands inside are broken, so I had to open it up and fix the bands. But it's like pristine. I bought it for like $10 or something from somebody. It's like, you want this? Like, yeah, I bought it for $10. Like, cool. And it's not because it was kind of like a, not nostalgia, but it's like, this is kind of a cool little piece, I wanted to see if it worked. It doesn't work, of course, but I think I still have tapes somewhere, which is dumb, because I could just go on YouTube and find whatever I need to. Anyway, yeah, right now, Sony, they PlayStation, they laid down that news. They put that job thing out there. So like the next steps in this whole kind of situation, if you want to call it that, is that they have to hire somebody. Now, people aren't really thinking about that, right? They're not thinking about, who are they going to hire? Who they hire is important, because if they hire the wrong person who doesn't know what they're doing, then it doesn't go as smoothly as they may not make as much money, and all these things, right? Which is the bottom line. They want to make the money. They want to make that Forza Horizon 5 money. That's what they talking about. And that's why they're hiring some person for this job. And you figure, since they're going to pay this person up to, I don't know, upwards of $250,000 a year, then the deals that this person makes have to equate, obviously way more than that, has to equate to that salary plus, well, I mean, it doesn't really, but I'm just saying, if they're going to hire someone in a new position, their position should probably cover the cost of their salary plus the dev time it takes to port these games, and anything else, distribution or whatever, advertising if they choose to. All that stuff should be covered in the sales that they get. And if it doesn't, then it is a failure. And if we're just talking numbers and such. But who who joked about it? I forgot. It was this one YouTuber I was watching. This is like someone new. He said, "Oh no, it's Alex should be the head of a third party management, whatever the hell they call it." I don't even know what the title of the title. I don't know what it is, because I'm like, it's like so convoluted. It's like third party acquisition management strategical person face. Yeah, you're gonna strategize the third party and then manage stuff and then talk to the vice presidents, and then I'm like falling asleep. You haven't even gone through the title yet. But I mean, it's I guess it takes negotiation skills. What else? It takes a understanding of the market and understanding of gamers. Like, if they just get a money man in there, I mean, you know what? I'm a step back, because maybe a money man is what they need. Like, all right, we need this money. So what y'all want? Boom, 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 and they just deal out the numbers. Then okay, fine. I mean, I guess they need somebody there to say which games to do the thing. Yeah, and what order. I mean, I think that's part of the strategy, so that would be the same person, right? So can the same person do the strategizing as far as order, time frame, games, which ones, plus the negotiations, percentages, points, and all that stuff per title? I mean, I don't know. It's tricky stuff. I mean, it's not tricky, it's just work. So, I've been saying this for years. This generation, this is the very interesting generation. Some of the generations were like, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever, blah blah blah. This is the best generation. That was the best generation. This is the best console. That's the best console. Whatever. This has never happened ever in the history of video games. Ever. Sony has never. I mean, there's never been a video game company to fail as hard as Sony has this generation. And the only thing that they can put their name on is console sold, which is a fake number. So when you look at it for real, Sony is failing hard, because they say people keep saying 80, like they didn't even say 80 million, okay? People are just assuming that they sold 80 million, right? And I'm like, I know that they haven't. Me and King are the only people who are saying that they haven't sold 80 million. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to say 60 something. I'm going to say they're 20 million behind what they talking about. That's what I'm saying. Because the numbers don't lie. Those numbers lie, but game sales don't lie. Now, if they're going to say how many people are on monthly active users, and then give us the split between PS4 and PS5 and PC, then we could make some calculations and say, all right, so you got this many active PS5s in the wild. Don't give me no, we made these many PS5s. That doesn't matter, because if a third of them are chilling in a warehouse not getting used, then that does nothing, And that's what frustrates me about this whole thing. It's like, and idiot YouTubers are repeating that 80 million number when it's not the real number. So I'm gonna just say 60. They got 60 million sold. I can guarantee. I'm more confident that they have at least 60 sold. So I'm gonna say 60 until they correct us. 60 is the number. It's not going up either. They need to come up with some real numbers. Stop playing. But anyway, the the fact that they're doing that just to try to save face or whatever, to seem like they're winning, and the moves that they're making illustrates that they're not winning, that they're desperate, that they need to change their strategy, make moves to make more money, to be more profitable. Remember, 10%. They want at least 10% profit margin. They're at six or seven, something like that. And I'm like, okay, 10%. And then VG Fight School did the math, and I believe he said $350 million would be, well, I don't know if that was in addition to what their profit was, which is very small. So, anywhere 350 and up, $350 million and up would be 10% profit margin for PlayStation, given, I guess, the numbers that they were pulling in and stuff, or their expenditure, let's just say. And so I'm like, okay, that's not doable, but how they're gonna do it? They're showing you how they're gonna do it. They're gonna put their games on Xbox, and people are like, oh, yeah, MBG's an idiot. Okay, he's like, oh, what does it matter if they put what's 800,000? What's a million and a half extra consoles sold? And then Alex did the math. I believe he said it was 49 million, dollars minus the 30% and all that stuff, right? So 49, right, 50 million. 50 million. All they got to do is 300 million more. That's a good chunk of millions knocked off for their profit margin. So I'm like, okay, and that's just one game. And so, if they do 3 games, I mean, that's in a year though, but they got plenty of like old games that they could do. But I don't know. I mean, look, it's inevitable. It's happening right before our eyes. Like boom, boom, boom. And if you want to be a donkey unicorn, you want to be a pony, then you could just sit there and be in denial and cope. Seethe. I don't know if they're seething. I mean, maybe they're crying in the closet after they get off the streams and stuff. Look, they're sad. They're really sad. And they're gonna get mad. I mean, your boy M was mad as hell. He's still mad. And he is the Tim Dog of the PlayStation group. So what we're gonna do. There's one of them in every fan. I don't know who the Nintendo one is. I mean, they can do no harm, so whatever. Nintendo's an anomaly, but these donkey unicorns and these ponies, they don't understand what's happening, and they refuse to understand what's happening. Most of them, anyway, and they're making up narratives to justify and try to massage and to move the goalposts and change the narrative. I said, what's this one? Who said it? Was it Nib? I think it was Nib who was on Twitter. He's talking about this. Let me clarify what's going. I'm like, you don't need to clear. It was in English. What are you clarifying? You ain't clarifying anything. So what he did, instead of clarifying, he added his own take on what they said. And what they said was clear as day. PlayStation's gonna hire somebody to manage and to cultivate, if you will, and to come up with ideas and strategies in order to be more profitable for when they take their games off of the PlayStation platform onto other platforms, i.e., when PlayStation becomes full third party. I mean, they're already full third party, but in the eyes of a pony, they become full third party when Spider-Man goes to Xbox. That's what MBG said. But once again, he's an idiot. So I think his steroids are acting up. That's why he's bald, because he took too many steroids and was trying to lift weights and all his hair fell out. I'm just speculating. That's probably not true. But if you do take steroids, you will go bald. I'm just saying. What is it? I forgot what it was, but yeah. Joe Rogan, the Dr. Dude, MBG. I'll take steroids. I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's just a rumor. It's not a rumor. I just made it up. Had to drink some tears there, right there. Got my 40 gallon ounce 40 ounces of tears. Got to drink them all up. They're nice and cold, fresh and cold. Because they come from the heavens where Kratos and Zeus are sitting there having a beer. And tears come down, pony tears, and they're like, why are they crying? Father. Zeus is his father, right? I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, so they're making up narratives and they're doing all these things to cope, I would say. And I know we throw that word around a lot, just to make fun of each other, but it's actually happening for real now. And I'm like, wait, is this actually? I know we grown folks, some more than others, but how? This is games. It's not like PlayStation is not making a console anymore because Xbox came through and smacked them like that. Kind of how Sony did the Dreamcast. That's why I will always hate Sony. I mean, look, I did a whole video about that. That's why I hate Sony, first and foremost, is because they did that. And it's not like I was a Sega fanboy, so it hit me personally, right? But they actively harmed competition in the video game market in order to win. And the Dreamcast was dope. Games were dope. It was literally an arcade board in a little box that you take home because they use the same arcade board in the arcades. And I'm like, that's like, why didn't nobody ever think about this before? And it was great. And I'm gonna be real. Sega has some issues too internally. They messed up for real a lot. So it's not all Sony's fault, but Sony went in, saw what was happening, and they finished them off. And I'm like, that's messed up. And it's basically what they're doing now. They're buying exclusives. They're doing this. They're doing all, it's the same thing they're doing now. They're trying to do the same playbook, but they can't play that with Microsoft because Microsoft is a behemoth. And remember when Z said, be the behemoth that you are. Well, be careful what you wish for because the behemoth woke up and flexed his muscles and grabbed some lightning and thunder from the skies. And they're not playing no more. They're like, yo, we got money, right? Microsoft, we got money. We got Xbox. We got Windows. We got all this stuff. Windows is cool. Xbox, you guys need some help. What we need to do? Feels like, yo, Satya, yo, check this out, man. First, we gonna buy this little game called Minecraft. Mad people like it. It's a little flash. It's like a Java game. It's on PC. A lot of people like it. Kids like it. It's a cool little game. It's like, what is this blocky game? Listen, trust me, Satya, Papi Sati, trust me. It's like, okay, okay. How much you need? 2.4. What? 2? Huh? What? Billion? You said billion. I mean, look. If you want the good stuff, you gotta pay for the good stuff. He's like, all right, son. All right. We'll see. We gonna see. And then gave him the money. Phil was like, yo, Notch, peace out, homie. He's like, phew. Notch got on the first private plane that he bought with his $2.4 billion. He said, I'm out, boy. And yeah, the rest is history. That was the first acquisition that Phil, managed or whatever you want to call it. And it's still making bank for Xbox. However many years, 11 years later, still making, it's one of those games that is always in the top 10. It's one of those games that is pulling in, that's $1 billion franchise. It's one of the $1 billion franchise that they said they had 11 or something like that. That was like a couple years ago. And I'm like, oh, they got more now because that was before they acquired Call of Duty. And so I'm like, yo, or maybe it was just after. So I'm like, yo, okay, all right. Then Phil came back. He's like, all right, you like what I did, right? Satya was like, okay, all right, you did your thug thizzle, Phil. All right, what you need now? What you need now? We're gonna buy some studios. All right, yeah, okay, yeah. Just go get the change out the couch. Let me know. Send me the receipts. I want to know how much you paying for this stuff. Okay. He goes buy Bethesda, buys Compulsion, buys Ninja Theory. Just buy a bunch of studios. You know, we need some inventory. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got you. So he said, boom. He gave him a little allowance, he gave him a budget. He went and shopping. You know what I'm saying? Then Bobby Kotick was starting to everything was falling apart at Activision Blizzard. Came. Phil was like, oh snap. Now's the time. Now's the time to make that move. Because they were about to buy Sega. They were like, hey, Sega, I like Revenge of Shinobi. Outrun, Space High. I love those games. Let me go to Japan and talk to Sega. I bet you he did go to Japan and talk to Sega. But he didn't buy Sega. He said he got an alert on his phone. Like, ABK. It's like, hold on. Pew, and he bounced. And he said, yo, Satya, I'm gonna need a loan. I'm gonna need some real big money now. Like, how much you need? 69 billion. That's a joke. You joking, right? Because 69 nice. I get it. Like, nah, actually, it's just 68.7. I just rounded up. It's only 300. Yeah, Philip. If I do this, you need to make money for me. If I do this, I want all our games everywhere. I don't know. You know how these things go. Negotiations and all that suchy things. But honestly, I'm not mad that they bought Call of Duty ABK, because I mean it's cool. That it's kind of a safety blanket, if you will. It gives them revenue, and it's like a guaranteed money, you know. And it affords them to do many other things, and that's just like in the video game kind of. They don't have to go and take money from Microsoft overall. They can just be like, keep it all in video games, use that as the kind of budgetary environment, and make it grow, make that part of it grow. And they already said that the gaming division is more successful than Windows right now. It's more profitable or whatever than Windows, you know, mainly because of Call of Duty, obviously, but Game Pass, you know, all these other games that are like nice. And then the move to third party PlayStation, selling games on PlayStation, that's making them money. Like they sold to 3 million Forza Horizon 5 at like some full price, some over full price, $100 or whatever for the early access, that's asinine. Early access for a 4-year-old game. Think about it. It's just like, and they paid for it. So I was like, all right, whatever. It works. So Microsoft figured it out. They figured out how to leverage their IP and make that money, you know, years after they made that first shot. And Sony right now is trying it out. Once again, Sony's been behind Microsoft for years. They always copy them, but there's always a latency when what they copy. And so Microsoft just kind of did it, you know, beginning last year, this year, right? I mean, Sony did the show, but that wasn't their call. And they're just now hiring for someone. So you figure, how long is it going to take to fill the role? How long is it going to take for that person to get acclimated and get things rolling? You know, 6 months to a year, I would say, until we see something popping off. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe sooner, who knows? Depends on if Nixus isn't working on any ports right now, then it's going to take a while, you know. But they're figuring it out now. And Microsoft has a head start on this business model. And as I understand it, they're going to have a head start on the console, the next console generation, because they're going to come out before the PlayStation. I don't know. I mean, PlayStation is dead. We can say it every day, but, you know, is it true? Not necessarily, but it is kind of, because they aren't the same PlayStation that they were, the same way as Xbox is dead. They're both dead because the industry has changed so much that it's not the same. But anyway, I'm rambling. I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think about the whole the whole PlayStation's third-party move, their strategy, what they're doing. Do you think it's smart? Do you think they will succeed in what they're trying to do? And do you think they actually copy Xbox? And kind of, I mean, look, I say they do. It seems like that's what they do all the time, but I don't know. But I don't know. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to y'all on our next one. This is the Wade.